This is Jeff on Community Preppers Facebook and Watching Ready on YouTube. Wanted to make this video so that we could see how far along people have managed to change their ways as far as being prepared. Have you done anything to prepare your home and family for the upcoming collapse? Or are you just sitting there shrugging it off as it doesn't matter or as it's fake news? Because I hate to tell you, the United States is in trouble financially, big time. You can't mismanage money and spending like this country has for, 150 years. Let alone other big countries are going through the same problems with the housing market, with electricity issues, cyber attacks, banking failing. What you may or may not know is that most of our markets are intertwined. So that one market may fail in, let's say, Britain or UK or Paris or Germany or Russia, China, that may trickle down and end up hurting us. Again, our banks and our trading and everything is intertwined. So if one specific area of the financial institution in each country, if one of those institutions fails, it may take time, but it will circle back around and bite us. Now, the big housing and credit and economic problems that are coming are going to be huge. I urge you on every payday that you have throughout your week or every other week or once a month, that you take a little bit of that money and invest it into your prepping. Invest that into ammo. Because when the time comes, you need to be ready. Being able to be self-reliant so that you don't have to fear anything that may come our way is the art of prepping. Because if something goes to happen bad and the government doesn't show up for 3 or 4 days, you need to have things in order. And maybe your food supply is fine, your water supply is fine, but I'm talking food that is set back for emergencies. Ammo that is set back for emergencies. A little bit of cash set back for emergencies. GM Motors General Motors had, I think over 1,000 people working on a assembly line before a vehicle was taken out to the yard to be ready to be moved to car lots to be sold. Once they put mechanical robots in control of where people were in control, they only needed like 4 people. And when you go to the store now, you see these self checkouts. You have about 6 self checking out registers and 1 person running those. They've introduced in some states already robots working in McDonald's. They have a board where you go and you punch in what meal you want and what you want with that meal, and you pay there, and then you just go over and you pick it up. You don't have someone saying, good morning, good afternoon, can I take your order? You just have a machine taking your order. And then you just have the cooks in the back. Machines are taking over. And maybe these people that are millionaires and billionaires see what's coming, is why they're going to be so less reliant on humans operating in businesses. Should this be a sign of economic times? I would say so. I would definitely say so. So, although you think that these things are great and we needed this, we needed that, this is going to keep costs low, jobs are being ripped from your community, leaving people unemployed, leaving people to have to get on some kind of government assistance to manage their way. Do I blame these people? No. No. If you're out there trying and you're trying to make a living on your own and you just don't see no opening in sight, then use these systems that are put in place to help you along. But the machines and things that are coming about in the near future that are going to take more jobs. You know, it's going to be more jobs taken than more jobs put into the system, into the communities. Why? Because machines are not going to sue you. Machines don't have to worry about racism. Machines don't need sick days, vacation days. They don't need paid overtime. So, yeah, machines are going to be part of the future. Where does that leave us? Where will that leave us? When it all gets done and tied, and believe me, I believe it'll happen in the next 15 years, 20 years, technology will be so far advanced that, won't be a whole lot of jobs. Only way I can see what can take place is depopulation. there has to be a depopulation of people. For there to be depopulation, we have to have war, which we're very much on the verge of in North Korea, very much on the verge of on the borders of Russia. So, nothing solid. Nothing is promising you tomorrow will be here when you wake up. Nothing. The only promise you can have is being a prepper and prepping. Because if something happens, you will have supplies. You will have bug out bags. You will have medical first aid kits. Stuff that you know will prosper you. Trust me, people, 2017 is going to be big. Big things are going to happen. Debt ceiling. They're going to say it's going to need to be raised and it won't get raised. They're going to put another rate hike in to the making in June. And one more at the end of the year. So, where does this leave you as the individual? I mean, even if they make minimum wage $15, it will not matter. You will not get any further than you are right now, because all they will do is raise the price of goods and service. So quit complaining about minimum wage, because it wouldn't do you any good anyway. They would just raise taxes again. They would just, nickel and dime you at the pump. Oh, now you're making 15 an hour, so we can raise this, raise that. You never really make extra money. I mean, yeah, you may make a couple extra bucks, but you're really not ever getting ahead. What if tomorrow, if you're getting Social Security because you're retirement, you've put your years in, you put your time in. What if tomorrow you found out the bank's closed and your benefits for Social Security were gone? I know what will happen. You'll try to survive and look for a job, but in the meantime, you'll have to go get some kind of benefits to help you through, if they'll allow it. You're not guaranteed benefits. So all I'm trying to tell all of you out there that listen to me and, rather be ahead of the ball, ahead of the curve that is coming, is to prepare. And those who don't want to prepare, don't prepare. I don't care if you prepare or not. You're the one that's got to be the one that everybody's going to look up to. Be it so you got kids or you got family, they're going to look up to you to be that strong rock for them, right? And, if you fail them, then, you're going to hear about it. Or you're going to see it. The pain of them not getting any food or fresh water to drink. There's so many different things that you're going to not be able to do. That's why you do want to prepare. I urge you to prepare. For every person that gets involved in prepping, there are 10 people that are interested in getting into prepping. You know, it's not like saying you have a ghost in your house and everybody thinks you're crazy. Or you going out and telling somebody you seen a UFO. You know, it's nothing like that. These are real life events that take place. Could be a flood, could be a fire. You know, it doesn't have to be a war event. It doesn't have to be an economic event. Are you ready? Are you preparing? Or are you just going on your vacations, going to your ball games, and not worried? Because if you're one of those people, when time hits and I'm telling you to get prepared and you come to my door, I'm going to say I can't help you. I'm sorry. But if you can't bring something to the table, I can't help you. You know? And that's the way it'd be for a lot of people. And you're just going to be left roaming the streets like some zombie, looking for your next can of food, looking for your next gallon of gas, looking for your next bottle of oil. You know? Prepare now. It's much easier than trying to be able to prepare in the middle of a crisis. Right? Preparing now saves you the headache of when you're in a crisis. Right? Who hates to try to come up with the extra money when your tire blows out or all four of your tires are bald and they all look like shit? And you've been knowing for a long time that these tires were bad. And finally they all blow. Where does that leave you now? Stranded on the side of the road. Hundreds of cars will drive by and pay no mind to you. Is that where you want to be during a crisis? I would hope not. All your life you've been preparing. You keep an extra can of oil, an extra gallon of gas in the garage. You keep extra food in the pantry. You do these things. You don't go out and shop for one day, do you? When you go shopping, you fill the cart. You don't put one package of meat in and a box of potatoes. You fill the whole cart, right? That's part of prepping too. So get yourselves ready if you're not ready. So you will be ready. Crises are coming. I'm warning you of this now. Crises are coming. And your government and your media aren't telling you about it. That's why we use YouTube as an alternative media. Because you get more coverage. You're not going to find out what the media is covering when they go on to a news station and they talk about something for 2 minutes. Right? When it's an hour's worth or 2 hours worth of information. They're not giving it all to you. Wall Street's not good. Wall Street's horrible. They're gambling. They've inflated the values of the market 50 to 80%. That way they have some kickback. You have to prepare yourself for when that stops. U.S. currency is going down the tubes. What do you do when U.S. currency is totally wiped out of the world stage? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know what the government's going to do. I imagine there'll be panic. I imagine a lot of people will be flipping out and running the streets. I think things will be chaotic. What do you do, or what are they going to do when they take away the poor people's Section 8 and food stamps and medical cards? What are those people going to do next? I really don't know. But if they become a problem, a nuisance, then you have to have your own means of protection. And plenty of ammo. That way, if it takes a while to scare individuals off, you're ready for the fight. You do not want to be taken out of the fight. You want to make sure your enemies feel that you're a more threat to them than they are to you. Right? Because then they don't want no part of you. And after a while, people will get the understanding that you're not the guy in town to mess with. People are moving out of large cities because of the uncertainty, because of riots, because the economic financial institution keeps rising in these big cities, and people are not going to deal with that. They're not going to pay $200,000, $300,000 for a small piece of property in town when they can move to Maine or one of these other states for that kind of money and have property. 20, 30 acres. Not going to do it. People are getting smarter with their money. Anyway, like and subscribe, share this video, comment on these videos. If you're not doing your part to get people awake, then you're failing yourself, you're failing your community, you're failing your families. If you're not putting this out there to make people smarter and making people think and getting them awake, you're failing to do your job. You're failing to do what's right and good for your community. Like I said, I'd rather have 5 to 10 people in my community that are prepping than 10 people not prepping, and I'm the only one prepping because then they're coming after me. Right? They're going to get my goods if they can. So I'm telling you, get people involved in prepping, get family members awake about prepping, get people you work with and stand by all day aware of what's going on, get them prepping, and everybody will be prepared and ready. That way we can weather the storm. Again, thanks for watching this video, taking your time out of your day to watch these videos that I post, and hopefully they've educated you a little more, woke you up a little more to know what is going on where you live. Thanks a lot.